We are back again. We are back. We are back.
I'm very unsure of myself most of the time. Not certain if I'm saying the right things, if I am acting the right way, if I'm even supposed to be here.
Came back from dinner and I was like, let me record this video because why not? So I got a comment. I'm not upset because everyone is entitled to their own opinions or assumptions. But I warned y'all about putting assumptions on my truth. I said that I was gonna block you. So Rebecca, you are blocked. But I thought it would be a great idea to use this comment as an example. So I wanted to break down this comment, and I am creating this video for the empaths. I am creating this video for empaths because I had to pay $150 an hour for therapy sessions to get this information. So I'm gonna share it with you. Rebecca wrote, roommate doesn't sound jealous at all. She sounds hurt. Hurt people hurt people. We hear that a lot. Hurt people hurt people. I didn't deserve to get hurt or be hurt by her just because she was hurt. That's number one. And this is for the empaths. It's unfortunate you couldn't extend empathy to her for disturbing her life by moving out on her. And also when she broke up with her boyfriend, you unplugged the Wi-Fi. First of all, I didn't know anything about what was going on with her boyfriend. I worked from home. All the drama that was taking place was at her job. I knew nothing about that. I didn't keep in contact with anyone at the job because call centers are messy. That was the main reason why I wanted to work from home, because I wanted to get out of that environment. I wanted to get out of that environment with all the mess and the drama, and I felt like me going into the job and me forming personal relationships with people, it would make me too comfortable in an environment that I didn't need to get comfortable in. I never got close to anyone at the job. I went in, got my check, and I went home. When it became available for me to work from home, I took the opportunity because I wanted to take myself out of that environment. Plus, it was beneficial to me and my goals, like working out, doing YouTube, working, and then still being able to get sleep. So that was my life. That was my hustle. Cool. At the time, I was doing hair. At the time, I was making wigs. At the time, I was hustling. I was doing YouTube. So your girl was busy, and me working from home just benefited me. When it came to this situation of me disturbing her life by moving out on her, I didn't just move out on her. I told her 3 months advance. How did I make this decision? Well, there was a situation that occurred about a month prior to me giving her the 3-month notice. She had this routine where she would stay at her boyfriend's. We had limited contact because of our schedule. So I worked midday. We worked at the same job. She worked at the job. I worked at home. Her schedule was from 1 to midnight or 2 to midnight. It was something like that. And then my schedule was from noon to 9 o'clock or 8:30, something like that. So we didn't really see each other. We didn't have that many interactions with each other because of our schedules. And then when she would get off work at midnight, she would just go to her boyfriend's house because her boyfriend's house was closer to the job. So we didn't really see each other like that. We didn't hang out with each other like that. We had minimal contact with each other. So the only thing that I asked was for her to communicate with me about if she was coming home or not, so I could put the bolt on the door. Because there was violence happening all around me as I'm working from home, because I see things during the day, I know things during the day, I hear things during the day. And then at night, I hear the gunshots, I'm hearing this and this. So she didn't care how she was disturbing my life by not giving me peace of mind to simply communicate with me and let me know that she wasn't coming home. So by the time it came to this situation, yes, I was being selfish and I was looking out for myself and I was considering myself because no one else would. She didn't. So I had to look out for myself. To the empaths that are out here, sometimes you have to put your empathetic nature aside and think about yourself for once and stop thinking about everybody else. Because as an empath, we think about others before we think about ourselves. It took extreme situations with her due to the fact that I'm an empath for me to even be selfish. me unplugging the Wi-Fi, you skip over the fact that she didn't care about me losing my job. I look back over the situation, I'm thinking to myself, like, was that intentional? Did she want me to lose my job because she didn't want me to move and get my own place? Because she played her music so loud and it was just so dismissive that I was in my room working. I was on a call. So how am I supposed to show empathy in the situation towards a person who's not showing empathy towards me, or at minimum consideration to my empaths? Are you hearing me? Are you really hearing me? All you thought about was yourself in both situations, and my therapist would be proud. My therapist would be so proud of me, because due to my people-pleasing tendencies, I would always think of others before I would think of myself. I would always be willing to please others before considering myself. So my therapist would actually be proud of me that in this moment, in this situation, I was selfish. Thank you for saying that. Respectfully, you're coming off selfish and lacking empathy. Interesting. Copying is also not a sign of jealousy, it's inspiration. There's a thin line between love and hate. There's a thin line between jealousy and inspiration. Please know the difference. Please learn the difference. That's why I was in denial about the jealousy. I was in denial about the copying, because I did hair tutorials online. So I'm gaslighting myself about the jealousy because I'm doing hair tutorials online. I'm inspiring women to wear the hairstyles that I wear, right? But see, the reason why there's a thin line between jealousy and inspiration is because when it's inspiration, people show you love. People show you love while copying you. Jealousy and copying, people show you hate. People have hatred towards you. People hate you. So how is she exhibiting this behavior? Well, one way was she always had a nasty attitude towards me. Just nasty. How can you have a nasty attitude towards someone you don't see rarely? She was at work or at her boyfriend's, and there would be days I would go without seeing her. There would be days I would go without hearing from her. And then when I would see her or I would hear from her, she always had a nasty attitude towards me. She was either agitated, irritated, or just downright moody, and just woke up with an attitude, or would just come into the apartment with an attitude. And after a while, I started picking up on the fact that she would use me as a scapegoat or a punching bag anytime her and her boyfriend would get into it. And at the time, I thought it was our job, because our job was very stressful, and I would create excuses as to why she would come home moody, irritable, and irritated. But then I started picking up on the fact that it was her boyfriend. She was in a toxic relationship, sis. So my empathy was there. I may have been creating a false reality regarding it being the job, but it ended up being her boyfriend. And I didn't find out until after the fact. So when she started having issues with this man that she was dealing with, she never told me about it. I never knew nothing about the issues that she was having with this man. From what I understood, everything was good, because she never confided in me about their issues. But I was always the scapegoat, and I was always the punching bag for when she would come home and she got into it with him. So to my empaths, can't always keep putting people before yourself. What about you? What about your well-being? To my empaths, like I said, a thin line between inspiration and jealousy is when a person is copying you, but they treat you horribly. They're cruel to you, they're mean to you, they bully you, they leave you out. They don't want you around their crew of friends because they're copying you, and they feel like if you come around, you're gonna outshine them. That's jealousy. Inspiration is when a person embraces you. They see the things that you do as inspirational. They show love, not hate. So that's the difference. She didn't just copy me and that's it. She was copying me while treating me horribly, while being cruel to me, while bullying me. So it wasn't just her copying me. There's a thin line between love and hate, and there's a thin line between jealousy and inspiration. And the reason why there's a thin line between jealousy and inspiration is because there's a thin line between love and hate. She talks about my parents and how your parents keep telling you people around you are jealous at any sign of conflict, which is not accurate in all situations. During this time, me and my parents were not seeing eye to eye. We were not seeing eye to eye, because I had dropped out of school. I walked away from my full ride basketball scholarship because of my essay, and we were not seeing eye to eye. And when this situation happened, they showed up for me. They showed up for me. They were there for me. And my parents are not enablers. If there's something they don't like, something they don't agree with, they will make that shit known. They're not the type that is a yes man, or they just agree with every little thing I do and say. They didn't agree with me doing YouTube, which was the main reason why I moved out of their house. So my parents are not enablers. If they give me advice about a situation, it's because they feel that that is the situation based off of their experiences, the wisdom that they carry. So during this time in my life, me and my parents were not seeing eye to eye, but when shit hit the fan, they was there for me. Which is why, reflecting over how my parents have been there for me and how they have shown up for me, I appreciate our relationship for what it is. I never talk about this, but prior to me having this roommate, I had 3 roommates prior to this. I just don't talk about them. I had a roommate, her name was Dee. I had a roommate, her name was Whitney. And I had a roommate, her name was Bethany. I think that was her name. Hell, I don't even remember her name because we didn't have any issues. 3 personalities, 3 menstrual cycles, no drama, none. It wasn't until I roommated with this girl out of desperation because I was trying to move out of my parents' house because my dad would not allow me to record in his house. He wouldn't allow me to record YouTube videos in his house. So I linked up with her to roommate with her out of desperation, honestly. But I had 3 roommates prior to this one roommate that was a Fatal Attraction Lifetime movie. I had to get a restraining order and everything. I just don't talk about it. But how I roommate with 3 other girls, there's no drama, there's no issues. And then I roommate with this one girl and it's all hell. When I lived with my brother for 5 years, their girlfriends stayed with us. My older brother's girlfriend stayed with us for a year. My younger brother's girlfriend stayed with us for a year. It was like living single. It was one of the best times of my life because we created the dopest memories. Like, I still remember living with them and we would all come together, cook, and just have a good time. People from down the hall would come to our loft and we would just all be kicking in and hanging out. I don't struggle with getting along with people. I don't struggle with how to live with people at all. It was just her. So when I lived with my brothers for 5 years, I lived with my older brother's girlfriend and my younger brother's girlfriend. We all lived under the same roof at one point. There were no issues for real. There was no drama, which is why all of us are still close-knit till this day. I just don't talk about that. And this part of my life was really fun because it was living in the city. It was giving living single vibes. If you followed me all the way back to Yanni Red, if you remember at that time I had the living single intro, that's why, because that was my life at that time. It was family. I had created family outside of family with family, if that makes sense, because we were kicking it with the people in the building. It was just such a fun time. Like, it was such a fun time. And then we would go down the hall and hang out with a neighbor. Listen, it was such a great time. So I don't struggle with getting along with people and I don't struggle with living with people. Even when I go stay with my best friend, she lets me stay as long as I want. Now, when she got into a relationship, I thought things were gonna change, but it didn't. Her girlfriend loves me just as much as she loves me. I can go and stay with them whenever I want. The last time I stayed with them, they were like, low key, that's your bedroom, but it's because when I come to visit, I keep to myself. I don't be all up in the mix. I don't be asking them to go do this with me, and stuff like that. I just go, I visit, I hang out with them, I spend time with them, but I go off and I do my own thing. I don't feel like I need this red carpet experience when I come and visit. So the last time I stayed with them, they were like, listen, you can come visit us anytime. People love having me around. They love having my energy around. When I'm around women that are trying to improve themselves, when I'm around women that are insecure and they haven't dealt with their trauma, it's when I trigger women. But when I'm hanging around women, like tonight, I just came back from dinner. We had a great time. When I'm around women that are like trying to work on themselves or trying to level up, I don't have these issues at all. Again, this is for my empaths. I'm making this video for y'all. I'm responding to this comment for y'all because it's a great example of why it's okay to be selfish. And this is what my therapist explained to me. She said, you can be kind, but you don't always have to be nice. You can be kind, but sometimes you have to be stern. You can be kind, but sometimes you have to check people. You can be kind, but sometimes you have to be assertive. My therapist taught me that life is situational. Depending on the situation, depends on how you should respond or how you should react. She went into this spiel about you need to listen to a therapist to get an outside perspective because it sounds like you're only getting insight from your parents, gaslighting, And to my empaths, don't allow people to try to distort your truth. Just ignore it. I really hope you go to therapy. If you haven't already, you're so open to growing and self-reflection that this will enhance that process for you even more. It's very honorable to share your experience here and be the example of growth for a lot of women. My therapist will not see me anymore, and the reason is because she feels that I have reached the level of self-awareness that I don't need to see her anymore. And I had to look into this because I'm like, is this a real thing? I had to Google it. I'm like, can your therapist refuse to see you? And yeah, they can. She feels that after completing 3.5 years of therapy, and I did PTSD and trauma therapy, she feels that she's stunning my growth by continuing to see me. I have the awareness. I have everything that I need in myself, and I was kind of using her as a crutch. I would just go see her and just vent. She said I graduated. She said I have officially graduated from therapy and it's time for me to move on with my life. And I went to her for 3.5 years. I was doing PTSD and trauma therapy. To my empaths, you gotta know who you are, because people expect for you to like sabotage yourself. People expect for you to allow your own well-being, your own mental health, your mental sanity. Do you know how my mental health was declining by roommating with her? Do you even care about that? Because prior to linking up with her, I had survived suicide. I never talk about that. And I had the mindset and I had the affirmation. I would wake up in the morning and I'm like, today gonna be a good day. I would repeat it over and over again. Today gonna be a good day. Because I used to suffer from suicidal thoughts, dreams, and then also after overcoming all of that, I also dealt with seasonal depression. So living with someone like that, it was not easy for me. And as an empath, you want me to show empathy, but where's the empathy for me? I became suicidal because of my essay in college. I went through a whole spiraling phase in my life. And by the time we linked, I was really trying to get my life together. And linking up with her, it was just a bad decision because I linked up with her out of desperation. So that was a learning lesson in itself. I should never have linked up with someone out of desperation. But I linked up with her out of desperation. I met her at my job, and that's how we ended up roommating together. And it was a horrible decision. I should not have made that decision. But she wasn't my first roommate. I had 3 roommates prior to that, and I didn't have these issues. So I don't know who needs to hear that. Like, be careful about who you are out here choosing to roommate with, because your home, it should be your peace. Your home should be your peace. And after surviving suicide, after surviving the essay and learning how to deal with seasonal depression, I didn't need to roommate with somebody like that. I just didn't. I didn't need to roommate with somebody that would come home moody and you would always have to guess what version of them are you gonna get when they get home. Do you have to walk on eggshells when they get home? That's how I was living my life, and I just felt like I shouldn't be living my life like that. I'm not in a relationship with this girl. I'm single. So it was just crazy. Like, this time in my life was just honestly crazy. But one thing that I do want to also point out to my empaths that are afraid to let people go, or just people in general, if you're afraid to let people go, please listen to me when I say this. Every time I let a person go in my life that was not good for me, my life always leveled up after the fact. So the roommate, my issues with her, when I leveled up from that situation, I moved to a gated community. So my next apartment after leaving her and all this drama, I moved to a gated community. I never had to worry about my safety, ever. I moved to a gated community and I just felt safe there. And then after the narc situation, I moved to Houston. After the narc situation, I was able to move out of my hometown. I was able to create a new life for myself. And then after the 10-year ex-best friend backstabbing me and the 8-year ex-best friend backstabbing me, I moved into my dream mid-rise apartment. Loft, style, everything I asked for, everything I wanted, plus more. So please understand, if you are out here holding on to people that are not good for you because you're trying to show them empathy even though they're not giving you that back in return, you are fucking yourself over. I feel like you need to hear that. You're fucking yourself over. And Rebecca, I don't care about what she's talking about because she don't know my life. She don't know what I've been through. So I don't care what she's talking about. I don't care how people are gonna view me or how people view me because I let people go. I don't give a fuck. I just gotta be honest with you. These people are not doing nothing for me. The roommate that I was dealing with, she didn't care. She did not care. Which is why I had to be selfish and consider myself. And I did. And when I started being selfish and I considered myself, I moved into a gated community. If she cared about me, she wouldn't have been treating me like that. But she didn't care about me. So I had to care about me. I had to care about me more than I cared about her. And if that makes me selfish, I don't care about that. So be it. That's life. This video is truly for my empaths. Let these people go. They are blocking you from your blessings. Every time I let a person that was doing me wrong go, that was causing drama, confusion, and mishap in my life go, my life got better. I made more money. I moved to a new place. I got more opportunities. I'm eating better. I'm eating good. Like, I ate good tonight. I ate exceptionally well. Life gets better. Every single time a person has done me in and done me dirty, my life always levels the fuck up. I always get blessed. It's almost like God prepares my table before my enemies. It's crazy. Like, every single time. Which is why they gang stalk me. Which is why they're mad. And it's crazy because people try to do you in and try to leave you down and out. But every time I've always came up. Every single time. This morning, I weighed myself. I weighed 205. I couldn't break my plateau at 210. But I woke up this morning, I'm 205. How did I break my plateau? Could it be the fact that I released the ex-best friend of 10 years who was body shaming me and I finally broke my plateau? Could it be? Leave these people the fuck where they at. I don't know who needs to hear it, but girl, leave them where they at. I'm telling you, leave them where they at. I have these conversations with people all the time. Like, you need to leave them behind. You need to leave them alone. I'm not afraid to be selfish. I'm not afraid to choose myself, especially when people are treating me bad. I ain't never left nobody behind that was treating me good. I leave people behind that are treating me bad. And I always level up after the fact. This is for those that want to hear it. This is for the girls that get it and the girls that don't. It ain't for you. It's not for you. If you're going to come here and make more assumptions, for the girls that want to hear the message, leave them people where they at. There's a whole world waiting for you on the other side. There's a whole new world waiting for you on the other side. Leave them people where they at. Because I look back over my life and I'm like, damn, every time I left somebody behind that was doing me dirty, I always came up. That's why people want to be in my life. That's why these past people want to be back in my life, is because I always came up. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are wishing on my downfall, but I don't focus on that. I focus on what's in front of me. To the girls that get it, get it. And to the girls that want to take the message, will. Leave them people where they are at. There is a whole new world waiting on you. There are new friends. There's new lovers. There's a whole new world waiting for you. And I just want you to leave these people behind so you can really experience it. Because, man, every single time, I swear to you, every single time I left people behind that did me dirty, I always leveled up. Every single time. It was always doop, 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 to a point where I said out loud, yes, I said this, I need a man to come in and break my heart one more time, just one more heartbreak, and I'm gonna hit my goal weight. But it ended up being my best friend, and I'm 5 pounds away. I just want to be under 200 pounds. I'm 5 pounds away, and I'm gonna be in that gym until I get to about what, 190. I'm gonna be going hard, girl. I'm gonna get to that 190. I'm gonna get to that 190. Because what she did, I deserve that 190. I do. So I'm gonna keep working out all my frustrations in the gym. All right. If you want to join me, watch me on Instagram. I'm gonna be working out all my frustrations in the gym, and I'm gonna get the body that I want because I deserve that after what I went through. Transmute these negative experiences and motivate you to level up your life because you deserve better. So that's all that I have regarding this video. I love the channel over here. I love the energy over here. Don't get blocked though, because Rebecca got blocked, okay? Don't be coming at me sideways, because I'm telling you, this ain't the space for that, all right? This is not the space for that. You come at me sideways, you're going to get blocked. And that's another thing. For my empaths, we're not tolerating bullshit. We're not overcompensating for other people's feelings. We're not doing that. You will just get blocked. I matter. It's not just you that matters. I matter. You matter. So if a person is making you uncomfortable, handle that, because we not allowing shit to slide. We're not allowing people to play in our face. We're not doing that no more. So if you come in the comment section with the bullshit, you're just gonna be blocked. It's not beef. It's not coming at you sideways. It's just, this ain't for you. This is not the channel for you. Go find somebody else. There's thousands, millions of people on YouTube. Go follow them. Go watch their content if you don't resonate with the content over here. But to my empaths, to my tribe, to the girls that just get it, this video is for you. Leave them folks where they at. There's a whole new world. There's a whole new life waiting for you. That's all that I have regarding this video, and I hope to see you in my next one.